All right, all right. Welcome back to the Keep It Real podcast with your host, Nicholas Salter, and my lovely guest here, Mr. Luke Armstrong. Thanks. Welcome back to the show. Today's theme is going to go over basically the theme of change. I feel like it's kind of the season of life that I'm in personally right now. I feel like a lot of my friends and loved ones are kind of in that season as well. And we're going to kind of talk about how to deal with change, at least how I feel like I've been able to cope with change and like some different aspects of change throughout my life, and how I was able to kind of face that and try to overcome that or embrace it in the best way possible. Kind of give some personal examples from there. I don't know, what do you think? You think right now you're in a season of change?
I would say so.
Season of change? Okay. How so?
New job rotation, so new type of job entirely. I didn't tell you this, but I'm about to become a licensed engineer.
Oh, okay. What did you say? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, well, I've put in my application and everything, so, now I just need them to approve it.
How long does that take?
I don't even freaking know. It's like 3 to 10 days, they said. It's been 3 days, so I'm like...
Okay. So, basically any day now, you might get back.
Yeah, and then just trying to... And then once that happens, I'm planning on, like, finally applying to the Boys and Girls Club. Boys and Girls Club? No, Big Brothers Big Sisters. And then just trying to grow, trying to figure out who I am and who I want to be.
Yeah.
27, terrible age to be, terrible age.
The standard oh shit year of everybody.
I think 27 is an oh shit year.
Yeah, because that's when it's like, oh, no longer in my younger 20s. Because even the age 26, it's like 1 year past it.
It's like,
it's not
after 25, it's the 5 stages of grief.
5 stages.
26, you're denial. 27, you're angry. 28, it's bargaining, right? Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of bargaining. 29, it's depression, and then 30, it's acceptance.
I'm old. I've transpassed the barrier here. Feeling it's weird. I feel like I'm interacting with like a lot more like younger like people now, to where it's like I'm like the older party. And I'm just like, shit, this is weird. Like seeing like even people's like Instagram accounts be like, yay, like a class of like 28. And I'm like, what? I'm class of 21. It's like that was like 7 years ago. 5 years ago. Gonna be 6 here, sooner rather than later. Which is crazy to think about. I mean, that's an element of change right there, to where it's like there's different kinds of change, like change that happens like immediately that we don't see coming, and then there's like the slow change that kind of sneaks up on you, that you just kind of, oh shit, like you don't really realize that it's happening to you, like getting older, to where it's like we are now unk status. Like
don't tell me that's. I hated every part of that. The fact that you said it, the range we might be in.
like I feel like past age 27 going to 35, that's like unk status right there, dude. We are in that.
Don't tell me I'm
that frame. Yeah, man. Where like people are like, what kind of music do you listen to? Where they say like shit like Usher was like old. Shit like back in the day, dude. Like Katy Perry. Oh, I love that old song. It's retro. Isn't that retro? It just came out in the early 2000s. Like, yeah, that's like 20 years ago. Like, Like, again, how our parents probably felt like their stuff in the 80s, where it's like, hey, it's not that long ago. We're like, guys, it's like old. It's like 1980. Our stuff is old now.
I mean, can you hear it, though? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing about, like, 90s. I'm very curious if that's how it goes. You know what I mean? I feel like pop music is very scientific in the way that it's, like made. And it's reached like a pinnacle point of like where you get like kind of cheap dopamine, you know what I mean? Like very poppy music and all that. So I'm curious, like, hot and cold Katy Perry. If
hot and you're cold, that would probably be called a retro song nowadays.
Dude, but like I listen to like have you heard Mr. Roboto?
That sounds familiar.
Do we got the Mr. Roboto?
Yeah.
It's a very old song, but like. In most of those songs, like, I'll hear, like, 3 seconds in, and I'll be like, that's an 80s, 90s song, you know what I mean? Like, in 5 seconds.
Like the style of music. But even I feel like we can kind of... I wouldn't know how to, like, describe, like, 2000s pop music, but, like...
You might be right. I don't know.
But I feel like it's different from, like, nowadays pop music, where you listen to it, it's like, oh, this is kind of, at least for me. At least for me, I'm a little biased, but also I'm older. I'm older. Just how our parents were like back in our day. Our music was the shit. Okay, it's like again, it's like the cycle repeats itself slowly.
DJ God Is Falling in Love Again is a bop through and through.
Yeah, by Usher. yeah. Like all this stuff is like, yeah, like we are now, like it's like the passing of the guard. You know, it's like we were the kids and teenagers,
which is fine. But like I want want the whole 9 yards and all that crap. You know.
Yeah, it's like this weird transition period where it's like I actually have some friends that got engaged like recently. It's like people like having kids, like getting married, but also some people like still like living at home like with their parents, and like feels like it was like back in 2017 or whatever. It's like we're in this weird frame of our lives where it's like we see both sides of the
especially as men. I feel like not to.
Yeah, especially as guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you look on Instagram and be like, oh my god, everyone's getting hitched, dude.
not that like women don't go through the same thing, but I feel like the perspectives and expectations of men and women are very different in certain ways. Like a lot of modern movements for women are about independence and career focus and everything, which if that's your jam, I'm happy for it, right? But like almost all the fucking, you open the door on the ones that are for men, and a lot of them are meant to just run you straight into the ground. You know what I mean? Like Andrew Tate just runs you straight into the ground. You know?
Are you talking about like the male expectations of like performing basically?
Yeah, that's actually there was a quote, and I haven't fleshed it out fully, so don't quote me on that. I don't want to become internet famous for the wrong reasons. But I say a woman in the modern day is encouraged to be someone. A man in the modern day is encouraged to be something.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that's always kind of been the case for guys, where it's like it's the expectation that we
have to perform, have to provide.
Have to do something.
Yeah, and like again, I'm not saying women don't experience those expectations or anything, because again, I'm a big believer in like 100% equality besides like the facts, you know what I mean, of like physiological differences, so I'm big about like if a woman wants to be a provider, that's her prerogative, like go for that. But I don't feel like that's inherently in there, and don't get me wrong, that also comes with its own problems, you know what I mean? Women have to fight tooth and nail a lot of the time in the workplace because a lot of men don't respect what they say. But I wouldn't even say it's a lot, honestly. As somebody who's in the STEM field, women are becoming more and more prevalent. And
the stigma's not as bad as it used to be.
No, nowhere near. Well, but that's the thing, is I don't want to say that, and then...
I think it's okay to say that, to acknowledge the fact that we made progress, but also acknowledge the fact that like the stigma still exists.
Yeah, but also there's a lot of men who just wait till nobody's in the room except them and another woman.
Oh, so they act.
So that's the other thing, is like, to me at least, but I say this from the point of view of a guy who, kind of just wants everybody to go on.
I mean, because we'll only know the guy perspective, the male perspective on things, because we're guys.
Yeah, so it's like, to me at least, like that's a good thing, but like, I don't know, I feel like it's complicated, because again, but this is, I guess, what I'm trying to say is this is all my experience as a guy.
Right.
And from my experience as a guy, there's a constant expectation to kind of be something all the time, and it's kind of exhausting. Yeah. It's really exhausting. It's really depressing in a lot of ways too. And but I think I also have my own demons I'm battling with, as you know, where it's like I have my own expectations on myself that are beyond just being a man,
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about our motivation expectations, that it comes from ourselves, from society, from how we were raised.
Mm-hmm.
So there's sometimes it's hard to suss out what might be from us versus what might be external and not from us.
Yeah, I think it's also just, there's just stuff getting in my head. I think the world is just becoming more depressing in general too.
It's harder.
Am I the only one who's seeing AI in everything now? It's weird. It's so weird. It happened in the last like 2 weeks or something. It was so stupid in the beginning, where it was like those, what are they? They were sweatshirts that they made an AI to look like these Thor, or no, they were like, they made you look like you had a 6-pack. That was like their thing.
Okay.
You don't remember those? Those ads were everywhere. But now, dude, every time I'm on YouTube, it's every video. Every video is an AI
A lot of
scam.
commercials. Yeah, I feel a lot of commercials.
And commercials on the TV.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, and the worst part about it is like, that used to be indicator, like my brain can't stop going scam, scam, scam. You know what I mean? And that's what I see every time I see an AI video. You know what I mean? It's like, that's a scam. You know? And so, like, I actually read on the TV when I was at the gym today, it said cyber scams on the rise, and I was like, freaking knew it.
Yeah, definitely. As it gets more advanced, it'll be able to replicate people's tonality, like loved ones, their voice, and be able to.
Oh, people are already doing that. You didn't know about that?
Yeah, but it's going to even be more advanced, which is going to be even harder to catch.
Yeah, but like, there was a way of like, there was somebody who said something, and it was, you know, I kind of went down a little bit of an AI hole, and they said like, he said, I am an English, I'm a book, he was like a book teacher, maybe he was an English teacher, I forgot which, but he was somebody who deals with literary things, right? And he said, I can tell from a mile away when a book is written by AI. And he said that it's not because it's good, it's not because it's too eloquent, it's because it's so cliche and all the same. And that's kind of how to feel about the videos that I'm seeing on the, like, made by AI, you know, is there's an uncanny-valley sense you get with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's trying to mimic something.
It's trying to mimic something that I can't do 100%, and I can tell, and it's really interesting because I'm like looking at it, and I know it's AI, and it feels very wolves in sheep clothing-y.
Yeah, it's like you can sense like the inorganic, like nature of it, like the manufactured, like it's weird how human intuition works and how we can pick up on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like something about this is unnatural, and it's like we may not be able to fully articulate, verbalize it, but we can pick up on it, but we can sense it pretty easily. At least for now. I'm not sure how more advanced this stuff gets to where it might be able to mimic like human imperfection, to where it makes it hard for us to pick up on that kind of stuff. In which case, that'd be really scary, where we can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not at all, because it becomes so lifelike. Which
Yeah, I'm personally becoming a believer in the dead internet theory. Have you heard about that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, mostly it's I forgot what the percentage of it was, but maybe 60%.
Yeah, it's just
bots.
AI. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even real people, just manufacturing outrage, manufacturing hate and debate, and basically trying to bring the worst out of people to help increase engagement and attention. Because we're now in an attention-based economy, to where you get the most views, the most eyes on it. That's how you get the most money, the most ad revenue.
Yeah. It just sucks. You know, and like you can't even run away from it anymore. Like you almost feel the need to use it now. You know.
Yeah, it's like
because at work, a lot of people use that at work, and they just get stuff done quicker, or they write better because AI is good for that. You know. But like deep down, it feels
our replacements.
Yeah.
Just exactly what we do with our jobs, and then they'll be able to synthesize it and do it a lot faster.
The funny thing is that my job isn't going to get replaced anytime soon. I know that. There's too many human intuitions that go into it.
That's good. Yeah, that's when we have. Well, we're going to have to start pivoting as people, as trying to focus more on more niche careers, or we're going to have to become better users of AI ourselves, to where our job is using the tool to its maximum capacity.
I guess, but like, I guess I'm not to sound like a fucking socialist or communist, but like, at what point can the world just function on its own? Like, if we make an AI, right, that can do every job, let's suppose, right? I'm kind of a believer of like, if we can make an AI that can do every job, then stop making people do work. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, that's honestly the crazy part, is that like, because our economy functions.
But I feel like it's going the opposite direction, actually. With the more AI is coming, I feel like we're actually making it harder for people to like climb and do anything and live. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of getting pushed out slowly like this.
Because of a fucking guy who wants to make more money. The death of America comes at convenience and efficiency.
But that's the only thing is that as we get pushed out and then we don't have the means to put money back into the economy by trying to buy goods and services that we need to live, how do they make money? So it's like our system is built on people working, participating in the system, using the resources that they got to pay for the resources. But if we don't get any money to pay for the resources, then we can't buy the goods and services that people are selling, so then they can't make any money either. Then the whole system like breaks down. So,
I don't know.
So you have to have buyers, you know, for things to keep running. So that's the only thing I don't think these AI companies have really figured out. Where it's like you push out the human aspect, then there's nobody to buy your products. Like to buy your stuff, because you need money when to buy stuff. So I don't know how this is going to pan out long term. So this is going to be definitely an interesting change to see over these next 20, 30 years. See how AI is going to change the world, change the economy, how we do things, what it means to have relationships. Man, especially as it gets more advanced. I can imagine a world where people, they only turn to AI to have conversations to make sure they have people.
They're already doing that. What the fuck are you talking about?
But even to the
And
degree
gotten
to
two
where-
people to kill themselves.
That's fucked. But I mean, even to the degree to where it's like, people don't even feel like they need friends anymore. It's like, oh, why do I need friends? I just talk to my AI companion that literally can like read, I won't say read my mind, but it's like, it knows our intuition so well, it can sculpt the perfect personality to match ours.
That's what it does. There's already things that do that.
Yeah, I think it's getting more advanced, dude.
Maybe, but
So even more lifelike. And hell, they combine fucking like robots and like, or like synthoids and all this other shit, like actual like human beings.
make an android.
Yeah! And just upload the perfect personality you have into it. And now you have like this cyborg best friend. It's like, I don't know what it's even going to mean for like human relationships in general and what that means. Because we're already kind of becoming more isolated as a society. Combining this AI component to even accelerate that and just remove people altogether. Shit. It's like, yeah, I don't even. So it's crazy to think about how rapidly things are going to start changing here. And I don't think we're prepared for it in any capacity, especially the boomers in power right now in the
They'll be
government.
dead. Not to say that,
but then get replaced by more boomers, because most people that vote are the older population, so they're going to vote in people that are like them.
Yeah.
So just replace the old people. with
Well,
new old people.
you're not talking about the boomer generation then. You're talking about like,
Okay, yeah, sorry. Just old people in general that may not know technology too well, so they won't be able to make policies to combat this stuff soon enough before it starts overtaking.
Oh, they'll encourage it because they'll make money off of it in their stocks.
Yeah.
That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's definitely concerning. So all that to be said, I think your cynicism, how I feel about the world right now, is warranted. Even though usually I have an optimistic sunny perspective on things. I will say, in terms of the economy and AI and all this stuff, it does look dicey right now. Like that can't be refuted. And it's harm on the environment and all that. So there are genuine concerns to be worried about.
When we're in the Civil War and we're in the pits, I'll be like, the universe does this for a reason, man.
So it's like, I'm not even sure the Civil War thing's still gonna like happen. Like I was really concerned about that like probably a year or two ago, but now it's like I'm not sure, especially after the Epstein files and all that stuff came out, and people are like, oh my god, that's terrible. Anyway, and then it's kind of went back to what they did before. I'm not sure if we have enough buy-in as American citizens, if we even give a shit enough to even start a Civil War. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think AI will have us on
Yeah, it's like
digital leashes and collars.
like pacified, basically. Yeah, so where it's like even our
Because ironically, I think the Epstein files are an example of it. Because I think that we all recognize that at the end of the day, I mean, I don't want to say that the Epstein file doesn't affect anybody, because it obviously affected a lot of children. It matters, right? And it matters if our politicians, we are electing our, terrible people, right? But I feel like a lot of people rob themselves of their day-to-day life. Like, they're their own number one enemy, because of their refusal to, or they're the number one enemy in the world that they want to build. So many people want a generous world, but they don't want to do shit to build it.
Yeah.
And so, again, I mean, I've done this on different podcasts, so, you know, how about you listen to them and find the time I rant about it? But, volunteering, you know, nobody does it anymore. People just realize that it kind of sucks. And it does, in a lot of ways, but you have to freaking find fulfillment.
You have to invest in the world that you want to see.
Exactly.
You know, you got to be able to plant seeds even for trees for the newer generation to enjoy, even if you don't get to enjoy it.
Are you trying to indirectly say the very famous quote? You've never heard that quote. Absolutely.
I think I know which quote you're talking about. I just can't remember it verbatim off the top of my head.
A society grows great when men plant the trees to which the shade they will never sit in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, basically that, yeah. So it's like we had to have the ability to invest into a future that we may not be able to fully embrace the positive consequences of.
Yeah.
It's a sacrifice, basically, which a lot of people are unwilling to sacrifice because we've put a lot more more individualism and all that ahead of society prospering. And I do think capitalism had a hand to play in that.
It had a hand? It was up its ass. Capitalism was fisting.
So I think capitalism is a good system. I think having a mixed economy is the best option. I think having a mix of socialism and capitalism is the best bet. So I don't want to demonize it in its entirety, but one of the downsides of it is propagating a very me-first mentality, which puts a risk at our future, which we're seeing now with AI and then the rise in prices and inflation and all this other stuff. Like I believe these are consequences of basically capitalism that's gone up too far without having guardrails.
Late stage capitalism.
Yeah, it's like things are starting to get out of hand to where we need to bring some balance back. At the same time, I still don't believe in communism either because a lot of people died under communism.
What are you talking about? What is it? There's no. Have you seen Avatar, right? Avatar: Last Airbender? What was the thing about Ba Sing Se?
There is no war.
Yeah, there is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, the gaslight where it's like, it wasn't that bad. It's like, no, millions of people died. Starvation. It was pretty fucking bad. So I don't think that's necessarily the answer to everything either. I think, again, it's more complicated than that to where it's like it's a mix of different economies. And even then, we still have to be mindful of the goods and services needed at the people at that time. Like flexibility is still needed to maintain societal stability. So I don't think it's necessarily a hard and fast rule that's going to solve everything.
And we need to start valuing people for things that are actually good. Like, you don't need religion to, prove you're a good person. Because it doesn't, at the end of the day. I'm not saying that towards you.
No,
I'm saying that towards society in general. I'm so sick and tired of all, it's I'm only going to say Christian because those are the people I'm comfortable calling out, but any religion. Actually, fuck it. Jewish, Muslim, Christian. Your religion does not make you a good person. Now, through your religion, you can be a good person. And I'm not saying, because, and I want to make it clear, I'm not, saying your religions are false. You know what I mean? I'm agnostic. I kind of am of the belief every religion is equal, including to atheism, which is the absence of it, right? Which in itself is its own ideology, right? But I think some people have this idea that, if they have the badge, they can do whatever they want and call it a day,
Like they can wear their religion as some kind of moral uniform.
Yeah, and so it's my thing with that is no, you can't. And stop telling yourself that. And so many people have the understanding that what do they say? They say so many people will shout from the rooftops. They'll say not voting is a vote for the or remaining neutral is on the side of the oppressor, right? That's a old quote I've heard in politics, at least. And then it's then you do nothing, right? Then because people I'm trying to point out irony because I feel like a lot of people will kind of say do something with the world, be a great person, do this, and then they don't do anything because I think a lot of people deep down have the belief that doing nothing in the world is akin to being a good person. In the sense of like, as long as you don't hurt anybody, harm, you will make a good world. And it's like
that narrative has been pushed around a lot. I feel like, especially with a lot of the third and fourth wave kind of feminism, and a lot of the more
you said that.
left.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I did say that. Because I think that plays into it, because people are like, oh, as long as we don't inflict harm, therefore we're doing good. It's like, no, not necessarily.
I think it's complicated though too, because like we need, like, people are just so stupid sometimes, because it's like, I feel like we just evolved from like in the 1900s, these people who were abusive, and like if you look underneath the surface of a lot of these like 1900s relationship, there's a lot of misogyny, racism, evil. There's a lot of bad things in the world still that I feel like a lot of people look back with like rose-colored glasses, because they, it was actually something that kind of hit me the other day, that said like, somebody said like you will look almost back with every memory with rose-colored glasses, even if it was neutral, as long as it wasn't a terrible memory, a negative one that like marked you. A lot of the time you'll look back on those things with rose-colored glasses, because you try to romanticize your life in a way, like not like in the sense of like you're trying to fall in love with it per se, but you want to believe it's good,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to be a loser.
You might look back and kind of put meaning in there where
there was nothing in there in the first place. And so it's like, I feel like we have come so far in regards to like emotions and like, race and, women in regards to women's rights. But I feel like now it's going into like this territory of like, we cannot constantly be believing that if you accept everybody and hug everybody, you'll figure it out,
Yeah, because there is something called kind of being the patriarchy, right? Where, imposing your will on other people.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the opposite end of that, which is being too accepting of
Mm-hmm.
even of things that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And then, evil prevails when good men fail to act, right? So
Good people.
I think we have to be careful of not being so afraid of shaming and like, trying to be the bad guy. I feel like a lot of people are kind of afraid of being the next Hitler, so to speak. So they're always kind of staying on the edge.
I think they're afraid of being canceled.
Like, yeah, they want to be on the right side of history. They don't want to look back and see, oh, I was on the wrong side, so to speak. So they over-index on trying to be super nice and super compassionate, which I think are good values.
And that's the reason it's so hard to criticize it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that. That's one of the most frustrating things about these situations, is that, obviously when we're talking about more accepting and everything, we're talking about the liberal side of it, right? And like, it's just so hard, because like, at the end of the day, you can just boil it down to like, I just have a good heart, right?
It's like,
that does not legitimize you to just
it's about
steamroll.
like you can try to be accepting and be a good person, but also still have like standards and like moral standards too.
Boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries, like lines that you don't cross, things that you don't do, and be firm in those. And it doesn't make you like a bad person. That's what ensures order, right? In order to get the snakes out of the garden, you gotta corral the snakes and get them out of the garden, right? And it's like, just because you use force on snakes doesn't mean you're a bad person, but they're not gonna leave just because you asked them to.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But I think that's the thing, is that there's a balance that comes into play with all this stuff. I think society, at least on Western society, we've over-indexed on the compassionate side, because we've experienced a lot of the oppressive side,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to change for the better, but then we can also make an overcorrection and change too much, to where that also has negative effects, where I think we're seeing now, like a lot of victim mentality, a lot of young men that have kind of tapped out of society by feeling like there's no room for their masculinity or their sense of expression or their aggression, or it's like there's no positive outlet for them to put their energy towards, so they just kind of recede into themselves.
Yeah.
And that causes its own hatred and bigotry and conspiracy theories and all this other adverse stuff as a consequence of that repression.
Yeah.
So I think we have to slowly go back in the opposite direction, but also not over-index on, being a dick unnecessarily and going back on trying to be misogynistic and oppressive and start retreading the same lessons that you've already learned previously. Like it's not an easy fix.
Yeah, and I will say that the people who benefit most from the current system will have a hard time seeing the problem within it.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
So it's hard to change things when there's an active force also going against us at the same time because they are profiting from the way the world is currently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we definitely got our work ahead of us. I will say that as a society. You know, I think that just kind of comes down to so much what you said, individual. I mean, just kind of do what you can.
Yeah.
Like one person's not going to change the world, unfortunately.
And that's the thing that sucks too. It's like there are certain things that I'm like actually would want more of. So like I like women in the workplace in regards to like again I have what I call like the Spartan mentality in the sense of like wasn't the actual Spartan mentality, but I just say it is in the sense of like if they can fight, they can fight. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is on every single level. On an intellectual level, on a physical level, you know. So, you know, there's a lot of sharp women out there. And again, if you divide the bell curves, it's 50-50 on both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you believe in meritocracy, basically, based on people's efforts, like what they're able to do.
Yeah, and so I think like you're going to see more women in the workplace if the society settles out the way I would like to see it. But we should not allow that to happen without also remembering that a lot of corporations are trying to do that so that they can have double the workers. And so I think that we should also focus on like not allowing inflation to get out of control. I mean, you used to be able to provide for your family with like a 9-to-5 job at the coal mines, you know what I mean? Now, I mean...
I will say, I think part of the whole inflation issue also might be at the whole use of, like, you know, our money is fiat currency, right? It's basically it's a stand-in for like bartering goods and services and things like that. But the problem with that is that because it's basically like a third-party neutral item, it's fake. It's not really tactile, if that makes sense. It's like,
do you know where money comes from?
It's supposed to be backed at least by the U.S. like by the gold reserves that we
Yeah,
have.
by the gold, and we outpaced that like a long time ago.
Yeah, and that's the issue is that because we're basically using a stand-in currency that we're trying to hold on to the value and not try to make it not fluctuate too much. But even the micro changes over time, they add up to where it's like now our dollar I think is only about 74 cents to what a dollar's actually supposed to be.
Yeah.
I guess our dollar's only about 75 cents instead of the whole dollar, which is fucked. So I think that's the problem is that by having this kind of fake currency in the middle of it, and it fluctuates like that, that's going to lead to higher prices because the value doesn't retain as a share.
I think we don't have enough corporations in check, you know, and they can abuse the system no matter what they do. And, you know, we keep bailing out these damn failing companies, and I keep questioning why.
That's the thing, they're afraid the market would crash or too many.
Well, then these asshole CEOs make golden parachutes and just make out with millions of dollars, you know?
Yeah, it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation.
Nah, I think we should just rip all their money out when they do that. I think we should leave them homeless. Whenever they do that, I'll poke holes in that golden parachute. I don't give a shit.
Wait, so you mean like if a company dissolves?
Yeah, dissolve the CEO with it. The captain goes down with the ship every time.
I think if they have their own stockholders within the company, I think that would naturally happen. But because there are big CEOs in their seats, they'll probably catch wind of that before that happens. They'll probably cash out beforehand if I had to bet.
Anybody who has a cash out, you're gone. If it's over $1 million, you're gone. Retract it.
But what if they happen just to cash out right before, like, coincidentally, right before the thing ends?
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that we go, oh wait, it ended and you got a $1 million cash out? Oh well, I ended my job 3 days before the company crashed. Well, that's too damn bad. We go a year back and we grab your ass. So either you empty out all your accounts and leave only $1 million in one, or you're going to jail until you pay back every penny that the company's bankrupt. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, that means they're going to be in jail for the rest of their damn lives.
So basically you're saying have like an income cap that you can make.
Not an income cap overall per se, but like these golden parachutes are made out of bonuses and everything. I thought. I don't know exactly what they're made out of, but like, you know.
Yeah, because that's the only thing is that where would that money go?
And I hate that tax loophole. I hate that loophole of like, what is it? Stocks, the stock loophole. It's such an evil ass loophole that's literally just lobbied its way to the government. You know. Like, and here's the thing, it's like people, you know, it's actually a really good point. I really want to say this. People will keep saying, it just hit me, and this hit me hard, sorry. I need to chill for a second, because like, damn, this hit me hard. My entire life, you know, I've grown up with a conservative father, you know. I've heard a million times, like, don't tax the rich, you know, when the rich get taxed, people are like, what's the big deal? It's not even going to make a difference, right? And I just realized, it doesn't fucking matter. They should get taxed regardless. I don't give a shit. I don't give a... It's not going to fix the economy. I don't care. What is he getting away with? Get out! You know what I mean?
Drag him back here.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, I just realized, that just hit me really hard. Is like I just realized how much that upsets me. You know, like that loophole. Like, I used to always think in my head, like, you know, it's not going to do anything anyways and all that. But I just realized and I will say it has been recent when or a while back I changed my mind on that. Like,
you're saying now, just from a principle standpoint.
Yeah, just from a principle. Get his ass back here. I don't care.
We're not really changing the economy that much. They should pay their fair share. Like,
yeah. We get paid up 50%. Number one, it's a, what is it called? It's like a margin.
Like a lot of people have like write-off service, like they have.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's like brackets. It's like you don't get.
That's right.
Yeah, but like, even if I like make a certain amount of money, it's not taxed the same throughout it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's
You see?
I forgot the exact word.
You see? I forgot the exact word too.
Yeah, but a tax is a progressive tax. Is that what?
Maybe,
Yeah.
but like basically it only affects like your top. So I'm so sorry, Elon Musk can't make like $1 million in his 50% and whatever. I just realized I don't care. I just realized how much I don't care. Oh my god. It just hit me that hard. Like I think because we've been arguing it so much and people keep doing stupid things where they're going like, it'll fix the world and everything, and I don't think that's necessarily true. Right? There's a lot of data that proves like, oh well, if we get their money, and I think, well, maybe it will. But here's the thing, I don't care anymore.
Well, I think the problem is like even a lot of the money we have now may not necessarily be going to the right places. Right.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit. I would much rather have government waste than some evil corporate. Elon Musk has 13 baby mamas. Or is it 13 kids?
I can't remember.
Give me a second. Let me look this shit up.
I think, I know what you're saying, where it's just like, we shouldn't let the evil corporations get away with making a bunch of money at the expense of the people. So if it does go to the government, it gets wasted.
He has 14 kids with 4 different women.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But I think also the second half of this problem is like we need to make sure that the funds that we are allocating are going to places where it does serve the people. So it does go back into the infrastructure. It does go back into the school system. It goes back into help for struggling financial families and things like that.
Yeah, but like
I
that's
feel like a lot of the money we're going to now isn't going to the places where it should be going.
Because I think corporations are putting their hand in the pot though, too. You know? They're putting it towards government interest and everything. The government will always be inefficient to a certain extent. And I would much rather put it towards an inefficient... It made me so angry how much I just realized that. Like, don't get me wrong, somebody might be slapping their forehead right now listening to this being like, duh. You know what I mean? But I feel like so much of that millionaire, billionaire tax argument is like, if it'll make a difference. You know what I mean? Like, Bernie Sanders' whole campaign was off of just taxing the rich and basically using that money to solve a lot of things, right?
Yeah, it's basically a way of holding corporations and the rich accountable.
Yeah.
Towards the people.
Well, no. Like his healthcare for all system, I think they were planning to use he was trying to insinuate that the taxation, the increased taxation, would make up for it, right? And I think there was a lot of argument over the financials of it, over like how much it's not possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically, even if they tax the rich, the money may not significantly change our current economic crisis.
Yeah, and I think that.
But they should still be held accountable.
That's my thing. I really wish somebody had said that, even as a joke, because I think that's like, that just hit me pretty hard. I really hope I don't sound stupid to you when I say that.
No, I mean, I think some of our Americans, a lot of people, like Jordan Peterson said it best, it's like, people don't have ideas have people. So a lot of people just kind of go off repeating ideas and talking points and ideologies without really critically thinking about what they're saying or what they're really fighting for. And then like kind of when you just happens, where it's like, wait, why are we advocating for these people
at all?
Yeah, when like they don't need us to do that for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they don't take the time to sit back and kind of think about it.
I really wish somebody had said that earlier, because I don't feel like I've heard a lot of people say that in that argument, right? I feel like people go like, it'll fix this, and people are like, it won't fix this, it won't fix this. I really wish one guy just went, I don't care.
Yeah, because this is probably, again, a lot of corporations that fund a lot of political pundits.
Yeah, I think they make it that way. They make it that way
to push a certain narrative so that they can kind of sneak in the background and make all the money that they want. Yeah. So it's,
yeah. And I'm definitely anti-corporation.
That's right.
Yeah. Like, don't, and like, realize, like, people might be listening thinking they're on their damn high horse, but if you use, like, Uber Eats, get your groceries delivered, you know, eat fast food pretty often from major food chains, like, you're playing into the consumer system.
Yeah.
Amazon is an atrocious existence. Yeah. And the problem is, it's too good.
The convenience factor.
Oh my God, it's too good.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, because people have to make a sacrifice to give it up, to really stick it to them, would mean to give it up and vote with their wallet.
Yeah.
Choose to spend your money towards.
That's what I'm a believer in, actually. Yeah. I don't believe that you vote with your, you know, a lot of people believe I think, I do believe your ballot matters to an extent, but I think it pales in comparison to voting with your money.
Almighty dollar.
Dude, I think if, like, we could bankrupt Amazon in 2 weeks, if all of us just...
But that would require us to collectively decide, if we decide to stop doing this, what do we actually want out of Amazon?
I want them to stop torturing their workers.
Okay, but like policy-wise, like what would that actually look like? Like what new policy? Like we want to make sure you have increased healthcare benefits, make sure there's like a maximum work hours.
Yeah.
And then do like no more than 60. Maybe.
Yeah. A review board.
Yeah, to make sure that they're being respected at work and they have to be able to use the bathroom when they need to. So that's the thing, is that we need to have like actual points to back and be like, if these things aren't addressed, you're not getting our money. It has to be enough people.
Yeah,
that makes it
and the worst part about it all, you ready for this? We need to loosen our expectations too at the same time for companies. Because the whole reason these companies are doing everything is because they want to answer to the demand of the biggest thing in the world, which is us. You know? And if we don't make ethical expectations and then pull back on our other expectations, then we will always play into this world till it dies. So like a great example is like the Fairphone I've been talking to. My phone is giving slowly out. It's so sad. I have an iPhone 12 mini and it's just slowly like...
12's old, man.
It's goodbye. And I'm like, no!
You still have a button?
Huh? I know.
Okay, I was like, do you still have a home?
How old do you think I am?
I just said, I don't know, just
No, but I have to buy a Fairphone now, right? And so many people, you know, you included, not that you're like giving me shit in a bad way, but you're being realistic about it, right? But a lot of people are like, you're not buying a better phone. And it's like, yeah, I know that. I'm not dumb. But like, that's the thing. When you buy something that has ethics in it, ethics cost more. And so a lot of the time you're going to get a lower quality product and it's going to be like, it's going to be more money. You know what I mean?
You're sacrificing the individual for the sake of the collective.
Exactly. And people just aren't willing to do like people would, like, Amazon Prime is an atrocity on the human race.
Like, we love convenience.
We love convenience, but that will be the death of us, right? And we all love convenience until we're on the other side of it, you know?
I mean, AI is a consequence of that convenience, of trying to over-optimize everything to where it renders us obsolete.
Yeah. And so it's just like, that was the thing that sucks, is like, let me ask you this, is like, do you think it would affect Amazon financially if their Prime guarantee went from 2 to 3 days?
I mean, I think it'll hurt. I don't think it's going to bring down company or anything. It'll hurt the bottom line.
I think it will hurt the bottom line significantly in the beginning.
Yeah, and then the public will bitch and moan, and then they'll get used to it over time, and then they'll just...
But we are willing to do that, and that's what I dislike about society. People tell me all the time when I volunteer with dogs, they'll be like, oh, that's just not my thing. Getting dirty is just not... That's one thing I can't fucking stand. I'm sick and tired of people being like, oh, you know, I would do like Habitat for Humanity, or I would volunteer at a shelter, but you know, it's getting dirty, it's the smells and everything. And it's like, people will say that, and then famously will also then recite or seemingly forget the fact that Jesus washed the feet of all his disciples, right? I think that's what happened, right?
I think so.
And that's kind of my point, is that like, you have to be willing, not willing, because some people can't do it. You can't be a garbage person if you're in a wheelchair, you know, to respect the limitations that people have, right? But you have to be willing to do most of the jobs of society on at least the basis of the thought that you are not above it. And I think that's what frustrates me when people are like, it's not for me, you know what I mean? I feel like everybody's saying like, oh, I'm above that. You know what I mean? I'm above being a garbage person. I'm above being like a person who has to deal with dogs and that are messy and everything. I'm above, and it's like, no, you ain't above anything. You know what I mean?
Yes, like a lot.
Not to mention, you're in a society that puts you in a very nice position. There are so many people who if the world went like upside down, they would die in 5 seconds. Yeah. And it's because they put all their chips in this idea that like they put all their chips in the idea, they've like cultivated everything around like this idea that like they're perfect the way they are because nothing bad happens to them in a way, you know what I mean?
They're just being shielded from...
But they're being shielded from like a reality...
by the modernity that we've created.
Yeah.
Ourselves with, that shields us from the harsher consequences of nature.
Yes. Yeah. And so it's like... That's another thing that's frustrating about the American people. It's like, you are above no one. You know? That's
lack of humility.
Yeah. That's like, I don't know. But then, on the other hand, you need to not be an asshole if you're like... So, like, for instance, like, one of the things I try to do is I, like, try to tip more. Especially if I feel like, you know, the person did a good job, or maybe it's just at random, out of the goodness of what I want in the world. I'll think in my head, like, man, like, and I think I'm above no job. You know what I mean? So, like, I could have been born into a different life. I could have had a life where, you know, I didn't have parents that cared about me. I didn't have people that encouraged me in school. I didn't have, like, my intelligence, for instance. That's another thing people really do not understand, how lucky it is to have that when you do and how you have it. And I could have ended up like a waiter, a garbage man and everything and all that other stuff. And that's not me. But then again, even in that statement, I sound like I'm putting myself above those people. You know what I mean? When I'm not trying to necessarily, but I'm trying to make the point that, like, and here's the thing, even if you do think you're above it, I think that might even be okay as long as you're two things. Number one, you have to be willing to perform the job itself. Like, you can't be above it in a way that's like, I'm too good for this, right? A person can believe their capabilities are better applied elsewhere, but
they're still willing to do the job.
Yeah, but they're still willing to do the job. You know what I mean? If it ever came to that, right? And then you treat the people in that job with respect. You know, Karen is a name for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously a name, but it's a meme.
Walking around with the sense of entitlement or unearned privilege.
Yeah.
Because they've never really been challenged in life, or there's the so-called lucky ones out there, right?
Yeah.
Those people all do exist.
Or they exist in this cocoon of like being able to be perfect for the society they're in, but then they also are completely blind to like people with bad mental illness, people who were abused as children, people who, you know. And like if you think you were abused or had a mental illness and you're still actively, like I've heard people brag about being like I've heard like people like actively admit like, oh, I'm an asshole. Or like I've heard some woman be like, oh yeah, I'm a bitch. You know, if you're one of those people and you truly believe you struggled in life, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself completely. Because then you, in my opinion, then you have it. Then you have it. I think if you've truly gone through struggle, you should gain compassion.
There's humility that comes with
there's humility and compassion that comes with it.
I'll co-sign that. I feel like the most humble people, the most kind people I respect to are people that often went through the most tragedy, the most struggle.
But that's a complicated statement too, also at the same time, isn't it? Because there's some people who just get very bitter and angry, you know? But I don't think you should have the right to say that you grew from it if you're still being shitty to other people, you know?
Yeah, they use that as an excuse to be assholes because they had a bad upbringing.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm running into that less.
And
so.
I've run into it quite.
Wow.
Well, here and there, you know?
I mean, yeah, it still exists, but at least in my personal experience, I feel like the ones that have kind of gone through the most that might be a little bit older, so they had a little more life experience, a little more time to digest what's happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
I do see this kind of air of like, you know, acceptance and like trying to have grace for other people because they've been in a bad or tough spot.
Maybe.
Themselves.
But I think that that's just what upsets me a lot. Is I think a lot of people think they're like, they think since they got to a certain point in life that they like, I don't want to say they don't deserve it, right? Because there's obviously work behind it, right? There's a song I really like by Ben Rector. What is it called? The Men Who Take Me Places. Have you heard of that?
I don't think so.
It's like a song where he basically like reminisces about the different men like he has run into. He only goes over 2, but his whole thing is like he listens to their struggles and everything and understands where they came from and how they are where they are now, and then he talks about his life and the privileges he's had that made it really easy. Not really easy, because again he talked about how he worked, but he puts it really well. He puts it better than I'm saying right now in the song. But basically his whole thing is like, or it's it's the men who drive me places. Sorry, it's the men who drive me places. Yeah, actually, looking back on it, I can't believe I didn't put the 2 men are men that actually drove him somewhere. But they were both men that like came from hard places. And he like just reminisces basically about like, I don't know if reminisces is the right word, but basically he reflects, that's a better way of putting it, and about his life and how, you know, he's had certain opportunities and everything that allowed him to basically progress a lot in regards to his career and how lucky he is in his career. But again, he admits like, oh, I worked hard, I still did this, but like it could have been different, you know? Yeah. And more people need to have that idea. More people need to have that idea of like, let's suppose you're proud of who you are, and that's perfectly okay. You can be arrogant about who you are. You can be like, I'm the best person ever, right? But then you need to have that compassion of the idea of like, well, what if I wasn't? You know what I mean? I've known people, there was like this reminds me of, I was in a wrestling match, as one does in high school. It was a wrestling tournament, actually, with wrestling matches and everything, and I think I got like 4th or 5th, maybe, or something. And, there was this white guy there that was really belligerent, he called everybody the N-word. He was very white trash. When you think of white trash, he's very white trash. He was very fit white trash, but he was white trash.
Derogatory person.
Yeah. He wasn't derogatory. He was actually using it like kind of how...
As I talk.
Yeah, like that's how he talked. He was calling everybody it.
Oh, okay.
Which is how most people, if I run into it and they're not black, that's how most of them use it now. Again, not saying, you get what I'm trying to say. Which, definitely at that age was, took me by surprise and everything, and I was really thinking, like, the worst of the guy. I was really thinking, like, oh, white trash and everything. And admittedly, he kind of was, but, like, I remember I was sitting on the thing next to him, he was being really nice. He was really nice. It was kind of ironic. He was such a really nice guy. I just think he just didn't know what to do. And then I talked with him, and he was like, yeah, I don't even, I think he said I had to walk here. And he's like, I've been just jumping place to place for the last three days. I was like, well, why? And he's like, yeah, I just got into a fist fight with my dad, and I just don't think I can go back home. And that's what I'm saying. And that's kind of when I had this moment of when, my dad's texting me every day and making sure I'm okay. I think he might have even been at that tournament.
Yeah.
And, I think it speaks a lot to, like, again, and I'm not trying to take away from who I am. I'm not trying to be like, oh, this, but it's like, some people are just unlucky, And
bad circumstance.
Yeah, and so it's when you need to have that compassion of, like, I think if you really truly believe you are, the best thing that ever lived, right? Then you need to have that expectation on yourself that you need to treat somebody like the best person that ever lived,
So, like, kind of hold themselves to a higher expectation of how to treat other people.
Yeah.
Had a good life. Is that kind of...
Yeah, if you believe you are the best Christian, be Jesus. You know what I mean?
You should have the utmost grace for those around you.
Yeah. Like, again, but there's a whole other metric that goes into, like, how far your compassion can grow. And remember, Jesus got angry. Jesus flipped tables. He went into a temple.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the side of any evil means.
Yeah, so just remember, there's a balance. But, like...
Yeah, I think a lot of those people, they probably don't talk to very many other people outside their circle. So that's why they have such a limited perspective and worldview, because they haven't been introduced to much more outside of what they know. In which case, I hope that as they encounter more life, they can encounter more individuals and have more of these stories to where they can see, oh, my life could have gone in a different direction. Or it's like, there is actual, like, suffering and pain out there. To kind of make it more real for them. And, I mean, that'd probably be my recommendation, to where it's, to those of you that might fall down this spectrum, and you're reflecting on this for yourself, having those conversations with people that you might even look down, like, I looked down on people before in my life too.
I have. Are you kidding me? I think it's a very human thing to create caste systems in your head.
Just hierarchies to try to make yourself feel better about ourselves.
Or to rank yourself in general.
Yeah.
You might be on the lowest person of that totem pole. And here's the thing: is like, this will relate in a second, but one of the things I like to say is, like, unless you re-rack your weight, then whatever lift you did is illegitimate, right? So people do dumbbells, and they'll do like 110 pounds on a bench. That's fine. You lift it, and then they'll leave their dumbbells on the fucking ground and just walk away. And I had the mentality of, like, no, then you didn't lift it. Then you didn't actually do that. You could have done it right there. I could have seen it with my own 2 eyes. I don't give a shit. Then you didn't have to do it because you didn't put the weight back. And in a way, in a very small way, I do believe that's true. Because it's like, well, you didn't complete the full thing, then you can't handle the weight. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I believe about, like, struggle. And so, like, that's the thing I want to say. It's like, I think one of the things that I have a problem with sometimes is the understanding that, like, I'm going to be really hard on myself. I will, and I always am. Or, I you know, it's kind of I constantly go back and forth on it, right? But you have a right to say you struggle. You have a right to say, like, I feel like the unluckiest person in the world. You have a right to say all of those things if you are compassionate to people. If you actively try to make the world a better place. If you don't, and you just tear people down, I don't really feel like you got a right to say it, you know? Now, does that mean that when you're festering and you're in the worst of depression that you should just end it because you're helping no one? No. But I think that when you start climbing back up that mountain, you need to have compassion and love and interest in it. And that doesn't mean like you need to do everything, you know? But
I think there's a lot of truth to that, because I think that they are kind of feeling that kind of resentment in their lives. Chances are a lot of folks might be on them, to where if they put some of that energy towards helping out those around them and kind of giving value back to the world may kind of start seeing that, and then more opportunities, more productive relationships may start forming and make more of an upward kind of climb, an upward spiral.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't interrupt you. I think I've been thinking about it, and I think if a society was based off of selflessness, a person's value was based off of how selfless they are, I think that might work really well in a weird way. Obviously this has all the fleshing out of like the bumpiest road, you know what I mean? But it's paradoxical, isn't it?
It's like, if we want to climb, I would say House of Cards, how it's like, in order for the cards to get higher to a certain point, they have to kind of be on top of one another. It's like it's like,
in a way,
maybe like a cheerleader pyramid, would be a better way to phrase that, where it's like, you can't really put the person at the top without someone being able to kind of be there supporting the weight of other people. It's like,
yeah, and if we value that person the most, on the bottom, who's helping the most people,
that's the foundation of the whole
yeah, it's kind of in a weird way, it's what is it, the self-eating snake, but more in a positive way. People say it in a negative way, but
yeah, it's
it creates a paradox that keeps its own engine running in irony, you know?
yeah.
Because the more focused you are on helping other people, then the more, value you become, but obviously capability will always be mixed in with that, so that also has flaws,
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Exactly, so it could create problems, but I don't know.
I do think that'd be the best way to go about doing it, is to focus on what you can do to support other people in the world, outside of yourself. And I think as you do that, you'll start reaping some of the benefits of having healthy relationships. People will start seeing the difference that you're making, and then they'll want to support you in return. And then that can start elevating, they'll help you elevate your life, and then it kind of creates a positive reciprocal relationship from there.
Or just, and that's great, I agree completely, but also just do something that doesn't benefit you at all,
Yeah, I think that's the intention. Almost like, even I know just myself, as to where the times where I actually was like truly generous, like with my mind, my money, my attention, somehow I got it back.
Oh, really?
Not necessarily like.
Oh, I never get it back. There's no return on investment for me. I've never once done an action, and somebody has told me, like, I mean, it has come back. I'm not denying, like, there's good things that happen to me, and there are good things that happen to me, coincidentally, you know what I mean? Like, the other day, I let a woman in front of me at the grocery store, because I was like, I had, like, my entire cart full, and And I was like, go in front of me. She had like 5 items in her hands, and I was like, her arms are gonna get sore. I don't really care. So I was like, yeah, you go in front of me. And she turned around to me and she was like, you know, this is gonna come back to you and everything. And she was really nice about it. So, you know, that gave me enough positive energy to keep it going.
What if that was, you know, like, you saw Odyssey, right? Like Zeus's law?
Yeah.
What if that was like Zeus in disguise, like testing you?
Oh.
And then you pass the test.
Well, it did, you know, because the cashier, who will forever name nameless, like literally at the end, I was complimenting him on his like piercings, because, you know, I'm not one to have them myself, but I thought they were cool. He literally took the loaf of bread I had and it's on the house, and just like slid it into the cart, and I was like,
look at that. And like you weren't looking for that, right? You weren't looking for it direct.
No, I was not.
Yeah, but then it's weird how you put good energy, put good stuff back into the world, and somehow it kind of.
This happened at your local Walmart.
Because I mean, similar thing happened where it's like this like little dessert place went down to the street to where it's like, you know, I was kind of chatting up, like the lady kind of asked me how her day was and all that stuff. She's like, I really like your attitude. Like, tell you what, like I'll take the cookies and stuff like that on the house. I'm like, you're good. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, but
So it's like it's weird how that works to where it's like you may not get it back directly in the way that you gave it, but you'll still kind of.
in that case, there are
back.
500 dogs that are about to come see me someday.
I feel like something good will come out of that.
But that's the thing. Do the action to just be beneficial in society.
Yeah, don't expect have the expectation of the outcome.
Yeah, and not everything's gonna work out. Nick can advocate for me. I just talked with him for an hour about a personal thing that did not work out because I was trying to encourage a friend to do something, and it didn't work out. You know,
Yeah.
But like, keep doing it. There's 2 types of people when we get told that only out of 100, 1 out of every 100 times you try, something good ever gonna come of something, right? So what basically there's like a quote, and I'm trying to flesh it out. Obviously, bumpy road, right? But basically, it's like whenever you get told. So like, let's suppose you get told, out of 100 times you try to do an action, a good thing, right? Only 1 of them are ever going to actually turn into like something good, right?
Okay.
And 2 people have a reaction to that, right? One of them says, oh, I'm never going to do something good then. That's a waste of my investment, right? And the second one says, only 100? You know? And it's just you have to have the mentality of, like, even just, and be miserably good. Be a good person that's miserable. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But do something good. You know, volunteer. Like I say, volunteering is one of the easiest way. You know?
To do something useful, not just for yourself.
Yeah. And be nice to workers. You don't have to be like a bubbly, like, oh my God, I love you so much and everything. But you say please, thank you, you know. At least be neutral. You know?
Sorry.
Oh shit.
Plugged in?
I was about to get it on power.
Yeah. There we go.
We saved it.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think we should try to do a better job of being intentional about trying to have a positive impact on people and those around us, and not necessarily expect something good to come out of it.
Yeah.
But just do it for the sake of it's the right thing to do, and it makes the world a better place to be in for everybody. And if everyone did that on a collective scale,
Yeah.
the world would change for the better from that.
So Nick is doing $100 sweepstakes.
Not all I said. But yeah, I think that we can't change everything on an individual level, unfortunately, despite my best efforts. But if we do take the individual contribution and enough people do it, I think we can make waves. Certainly, it's been done in history, so it can be done again. Again, that's the reason why I do this show in the first place, is hopefully I can kind of start a wave, I guess, or try and do my own contribution to something good, or try and change the cultural zeitgeist of cynicism and rugged individualism.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's the best way to go about doing it, is individual contribution and giving value to the best of your ability. Whether that means you're a good cook, or you can take care of dogs at a shelter, or you're a phenomenal parent or a teacher, whatever the case may be. I believe there's something in this world that you have an inclination towards, that you're meant to give back to it. Like, it's your gift that you can try to give to other people. Folks are doing the best you can. And by doing that, I think that's how we'll start changing the world for the better as opposed to the worse that we're seeing currently. But yeah, I think that puts us about an hour and 10. Oh, I got a longer one this time. Look at that. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, have any last thoughts about change? Yeah. I think change is a complex thing. I think there can be good change and there can be bad change, and there can be changes that are instant, and there's changes that happen over time that we see slowly. And I think as we talk about this conversation, how we react to that as people matters the most, to make sure that doesn't rot us out, even if things don't go our way, to try our best to still try to be good
miserably
people.
good, if anything.
Miserably good. Try to be good to those around us, and if we stick to that, I think we can change things for the better. So, but yeah, that's all I have. Thank you all for listening into this episode. Like always, let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Give us ideas for different topics to discuss in the future. Even different guests and people to kind of have on. I love having conversations about things with
Different guests, huh?
No, I don't want to have a good variety of different perspectives.
No, you said it. It hurt.
Oh my god. Having varieties so that we can expand our worldview, like we talked about with like.
No more worldview.
But that's how we get to expand our knowledge of ourselves and the world, is by being able to talk to people from all walks of life. But yeah, but thank you guys for listening. It means a lot to appreciate me. I had people kind of come up to me saying, hey Nick, I checked out your episode. I loved it. I love listening to it. And that stuff does mean a lot to me. So I appreciate anyone that takes their time out to listen to these videos. It is very, very meaningful, very substantial. And I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. But like always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And be sure to keep it real.
Keep it real.
All right.